Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Tim from Well Done Homestead, and I am headed to the range today. It's chilly, it's in the 20s, but you can't always choose what the weather's going to be like when you're needing to use said piece of defensive equipment. So that's where we're going, and we're going to talk through it today. The point of coming to the range is making sure that you're going to practice the things that you're actually going to use in a real life scenario. Everybody wants to be fast. Everybody wants to be Doc Holliday or Billy the Kid or Wild Bill Hickok and, you know, shoot that single action, which you're probably not going to be carrying in a real life scenario. If you're carrying a single action revolver as your daily carry, as your concealed carry, you're going to be at a disadvantage. You're going to want to make sure you practice the things that you're actually going to be doing in real life. So maybe you're saying, Tim, why wouldn't you use a single action revolver? I thought that revolvers were super reliable. And they are. As long as everything's in time, you're probably not going to have a problem. But the reality is, number one, there's only 6 shots. So you got to make sure your shot placement is actually very, very precise. Now this is a 22 LR. Actually, I have a cylinder for this one, so you can actually shoot 22 mag as well. But this is not something I would ever carry as a defensive weapon. But the reason why I wouldn't use this is because for a single action revolver, you have to pull the hammer back every single time you want to press the trigger. If you have to pull the hammer back every time, it's going to take a lot of time. Even if you're fast, it's going to take a fair amount of time. Unless you're going to like devote your life to being fast with this weapon, you're not going to be Jerry Merschlak, that guy. The guy from Smith & Wesson. That guy is a freaking G. Anyway, so back to this. Reality is, I'm speaking too much. That's it. That's the magic. All 6. See? Watch. That's it. It's empty. And loading it isn't easy. You have to half cock it. You have to slide this gate open, and then you have this guy to eject the shell. Once you get the shells ejected, then you got to load more in it. It's just not fast enough. Now maybe you're saying, Tim, listen, I'm all about the Old West. I like the old cowboys, and hey, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. To which I'm going to say, go for it. If that's what you want to do, have fun. I'm never going to sit here and tell you anything that, you know, if you want to do a single action revolver and that's what you want to carry, I would recommend 45 long Colt, because the reality is one shot should take care of the thing. But if you miss, you're going to need to make sure your second shot's fast. So make sure you practice that. Reality is, no matter what you carry, it needs to be something that you are proficient with. I am not proficient with this firearm. I have it because if I'm going to, you know, use it for small game, taking care of, you know, varmints on the homestead, snake shot, you can shoot snake shot through these. It's actually really nice. When I go fishing, which I haven't been in a long time, but when I used to go fly fishing, I would carry snake shot in this pistol, and because there's a lot of snakes and sometimes there's copperheads, and last thing I want to be doing is having to deal with that. So snake shot takes care of the problem. But reality is, this is not the firearm that I carry every single day. I'm here at the range just having fun with it. But if you want to carry it, have fun. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Just make sure you practice, because that's what you're going to, how you practice is how you're going to fight. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. The reality is this: you're going to want to carry something like this. This is a Glock 19, and it is much quicker. It carries a lot more ammunition. And the reality is it's a more appropriate tool for self-defense than a single action revolver. Now there could be a case to be made for a double action revolver. I know some old school cats that still carry them. I've got a friend that he carries a little stubby 38 special as his backup for his regular carry. And maybe that's what you want to do. It's kind of the backup gun, whatever, that's fine. Reality is you're going to want to make sure you get yourself a good holster, and you're going to want to make sure that you practice drawing from concealment. I think too many people, they just think, well, I got my concealment and I dry fire, but you know, I don't really need to worry about actually doing the action of drawing your weapon. The reality is you do need to practice, because muscle memory is going to be the key. When you are under heavy stress, fine motor skills go away, and it's only gross motor skills that you're going to have. So your body's going to default, and your brain is going to default into what you have practiced, your muscle memory. So you need to make sure you practice. This is an appendix carry, so it fits here in my pants. So I'm going to put it on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I have my firearm put on, and you can see it is actually chilly out today, and my hands are actually starting to get cold. And I should probably practice drawing my weapon with gloves on. And I might do a few rounds with that, but the reality is I don't normally wear gloves when I'm just walking around. I have my hands in my pockets normally, so that's just kind of how I operate. But the reality is you need to simulate how your normal life is going to be. So if you carry your firearm like this, then you need to carry it like that and practice like that. If you carry it on your hip, you need to practice that way. If you carry it outside the waistband, practice with your jacket on. If you carry it in a bag, practice drawing from your bag. Bottom line is you need to practice every single you need to make sure you practice the way that you carry your firearm, because if you don't practice the way you carry it, you're not going to have that muscle memory that I was talking about. It's cold. I'm wearing a jacket and a hoodie. Now you can see the firearm here. I have my t-shirt tucked in, and that's probably a recommendation, that if you're going to wear like a hoodie or something over top of it, that you wear and tuck in your t-shirt, so that it's not going to get in the way. Extra stuff over top of your pistol is going to potentially get in the way of your hands as you draw your firearm. So you want to make sure you tuck in your shirt. Now you might be saying, Tim, I'm only wearing a t-shirt. Well, then you're not going to have to worry about it, are you? Because all you have is your t-shirt. You're not going to worry about, I mean, in reality, there could be something said for, I'm wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt. Okay, fine. You have 2 layers of clothing. Right now I have this big jacket, plus I have a hoodie on, and I don't want my t-shirt in the way too. It's already bulky enough. So the steps for drawing your firearm are going to start out with, number 1, grabbing your jacket and hoodie, making sure you get them both, and pulling up far enough so you can actually get to your firearm. It might seem weird, but that's just, hey, don't worry about flashing your gut. It doesn't matter. You're in a life-threatening situation. Who cares if they're going to see your belly? Big deal. So you're going to grab, pull, and then you're going to put the crotch of your hand right into, you can see it right there, right up against that back strap, right up tight. You want it to be nice and tight on the back of that pistol. Okay, that is exactly where you want your grip to be. So you need to practice getting your hand right there, and then getting your fingers into the handle so that you can draw that firearm without it getting fumbled and dropped and all that. So practice those steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you want to make sure that you pull those 4 steps. Just practice them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're putting your firearm away, take your time. Don't shoot yourself. That's a bad thing. You don't want to do that. So take your time. Make sure that everything's going in there. You don't have clothing in the way. Your finger's not in the trigger well. There you go. Perfect. All right. So you're going to practice those. Practice those. My recommendation is, if you're just going to practice your draw, practice it without one in the chamber, just in case something should happen that's not good. Okay? So practice without one in the chamber. If you want to practice with the full weight of a full magazine, that's fine. I fully understand that. but don't chamber around just in case something should get in the way of the trigger and actually engage the trigger. So you want to practice 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to come right up on target so that your sights are right where you're wanting to aim. Okay? All right, I'm going to take one for real. So you see a threat, you're like alert. Hopefully you're alert. You're looking around. You see a threat. 1, 2, 3, present. Fire. All right, you fire. Make sure that you fire. That's important. If you're just practicing your draw, great. You don't have to press the trigger. All right, so let's try it one more time. We're going to come all the way up on target. We're going to go nice and easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, present. And you've got your sights right on your target. Okay? Finger back off the trigger. Reholster. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And you want to practice that. Practice it slow. You might as well. Practice it so that you have the muscle memory. Speed will come. I promise. All right, here we go. All right, and you can see I'm empty. So practice your mag release. Practice your mag change, okay? So you drop, and back up on target. I think I'm gonna actually do a couple of those. Something else that you can do while you're practicing that and going nice and easy. Go slow, do your draw. If you're gonna do like one shot and then do a reload, take your time. Make sure that you're indexing your finger properly, indexing it into the mag well properly so that you can actually get that magazine into the mag well. Because again, we're talking about fine motor skill movement in a a stressful situation. So you want to make sure you practice that so you have that muscle memory. We're going to do all 4 steps, and then we're going to do one shot, and then we're going to do a mag change, and we're going to do it nice and easy so that the muscle memory comes. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, shot. Mag drop, indexed, back on target, another shot. Okay? And honestly, you do that drill 8 times, 10, you've used 20 rounds max. So you're not blowing through a bunch of ammo. You're using 1 box. And if you take your time to take these shots and make sure your shots are on target appropriately, take the time to make sure it's right. Do it right. If you're gonna do it right, that muscle memory is gonna come, and as you get more proficient with your firearm, you're gonna become quicker with your draw, with your trigger pull, with your acquisition of the target. Actually, I did those out of order, but that's okay. With your mag change, with your follow-up shot, it's going to become muscle memory, and you're gonna be able to do that a lot more quickly. Let's do one more round. And we're gonna go nice and slow again. It's cold. It is, it's like 22 degrees, and I'm out here without gloves. Stupid. Anyway, here we go. All right, you know what helps? When you turn the camera on. I did a whole last round and an outro and everything, and yeah. So you got to turn the camera on, Tim. Anyway, so we're gonna do one more round, final round, and then we're gonna take a look at our target, and yeah, we're gonna wrap up. So we're gonna take real slow, deliberate, draw, target, shot, mag change, shot, okay? And here we go. Okay, and I know some of you guys are like, don't pull it in close. And old dogs don't learn new tricks. I've been trained that way for a very, very long time, and I'm stuck that way. So deal with it. All right, let's take a look at our target. All right, obviously the little ones there are the 22. I was shooting that, but you can see right on target here. This is in the A zone. Now it's not ideal because it's a little bit left and low. It's because of my mechanical offset for the barrel and the optic, because I have it sighted in at 25 yards. But those are good shots. Those are shots that are going to take care of the problem, truly. Alrighty, folks. So that's going to wrap it up today. I know that hopefully you never have to use this stuff. Hopefully the world goes on and life happens and it's all good and things are hunky-dory and happy, but the reality is we live in a fallen world. Heart of man is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I say this stuff so that you guys can practice and so that you can be prepared, because that's what I want you to be. I want you to be able to protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your community. Ladies and gentlemen, stay prepared.